the ultimate motorcycle. At least that's what Honda had claimed of the Goldwing when it was released back in 1974. It was a far cry from today's Goldwing that deserves its own episode of Modern Marvels. Still, the Wing has been shaking things up since the beginning.
Honda was riding a wave of success from the CB750, and the designers were faced with a difficult task: create the next flagship motorcycle.
The result was a horizontally opposed 4-cylinder engine, shaft-driven and liquid-cooled, all firsts for Honda, sitting inside a steel frame with a fuel tank under the seat and a large storage compartment where the tank usually resides. They called this new model the Goldwing, after Honda's own Golden Wing logo.
The GL1000, as Honda had dubbed it, did not start life as a luxury tourer. Riders were naked and exposed. In fact, Honda didn't even offer a windscreen or luggage until the early 80s. Little did Honda know, they were on the cusp of changing what people had come to expect from a motorcycle. Again, and it came at the perfect time. The past few decades had been a period of rapid development in the motorcycle industry. We've gone from drum brakes to supercomputers in just a few short years. OEMs competing to create machines at the pinnacle of performance have distilled a few of these creations into masterpieces of modern engineering. Honda has refused to stop working on the Wing for decades, and the result? It's become the gold standard for touring motorcycles.
The Goldwing revolutionized the industry, pioneering the way companies incorporated advanced technologies on their motorcycles.
Over the years, Honda has added just about all the advanced equipment they could find. Things like electronic fuel injection, double wishbone front suspension, anti-lock braking systems, cruise control, traction control, ride modes, a dual clutch transmission, integrated navigation systems, advanced audio systems, and so on. The Goldwing put pressure on other manufacturers to build more feature-rich motorcycles. Honda maintained their position on performance, comfort, and perhaps most importantly, quality. They seemed well on their way to achieving their goal of building the ultimate motorcycle.
And the riders? Well, let's just say they began attracting a certain type of owner by the late 90s and early 2000s.
At some point, terms like the old wing and the get old wing were coined, referencing the type of bike one might decide is their final purchase in their riding career.
But it was Honda's cocktail of performance and comfort that has truly set the Goldwing apart from its competitors. Honda has sold thousands of them since its release, only halting production for 1 year in 2011 in order to relocate their assembly operation.
The latest evolution of the Wing is leaner and meaner. An 1833cc horizontally opposed 6-cylinder provides mountains of torque at any RPM. Power delivery is smooth and seemingly limitless. And while Honda doesn't publish horsepower stats, I'll just say it's enough.
The chassis? It's solid too. All the weight is carried low, and as such, it drops into corners like something a weight class or two below it. If things get a bit too fast, or if the wildlife decides to be wild, the brakes are heroic. A squeeze of your finger reins in this freight train. If you didn't know you were straddling an 800-pound luxury super yacht, you'd think you were on something more sporty.
Something Honda has pioneered these last few years is the use of a dual-clutch transmission, making this bike an automatic. It sort of goes against what I think of as riding a motorcycle. Like an overly wet cappuccino, it might get the job done, but who enjoys drinking a cup of hot milk?
Though similar in operation to a traditional manual transmission, they differ in a few key ways. The shift drum is rotated via motor rather than your foot, and two clutch packs engage the even and odd gears separately. As throttle is applied, the clutch engages automatically, and you're away. As you near the point where a shift to second is necessary, the second clutch prepares to engage second gear. The first clutch disengages first gear. The shift motor rotates the shift drum, slotting the transmission into second gear, and the secondary clutch engages. Easy as that, second gear. This automated process allows the rider to focus on only throttle and braking, providing a smooth, easier riding experience. At least that's what Honda says. The shifting is usually smooth as butter, and even at very low speeds, the throttle response is spot on. Usually. Ultra low speed maneuvers and tighter twisty roads are where I found myself missing the manual transmission most.
Once you get used to what the Honda's DCT wants to do, you can plan ahead.
Automatic override in any power mode lets you downshift as you approach a corner, then shift back to the appropriate gear after you exit. And if you really want to have control, manual mode can give you almost everything you're looking for with the touch of a button.
That's not the only useful button. Forward and reverse walk mode is a great help when maneuvering the Goldwing's girth in and out of parking spots. Honda's done an excellent job of disguising the fact that it weighs nearly half a ton.
The Goldwing is all about conservation of energy. From automatic shifting and luxury ergonomics to parking assistance and powered locks. By the time you get to your destination, you've still got energy to explore the area you've chosen to ride to.
At the end of the day, the Goldwing retains a dignified presence on the road. You might carve twisty mountain roads like a sport bike or crush interstate miles like a cruiser, but you'll always be seen as the responsible one in any riding group.
And that's why the Goldwing is the sleeper of the century.
So why aren't younger riders flocking to the Goldwing? I don't think it has so much to do with the bike as it does the price tag. The 2023 Goldwing has a base price of $23,600. Start customizing it and the price can skyrocket to over $33,000.
That's the equivalent of 2 Yamaha Tracer 9 GTs, 3 Suzuki GSX-S 1000s, and nearly 4 Kawasaki Versys 650s. Or any one of those bikes, plus a lot of fuel and fresh rubber to put miles down with.
That sort of price tag establishes the demographic that will purchase the machine. It's not that we don't want to buy a Goldwing. It just doesn't make sense for most people our age.
Sometimes stereotypes exist for a reason.
However, Honda's attention to detail, paired with uncanny performance per pound, timeless styling, and a reputation that's been in the making for nearly half a century, have made this latest iteration of the Goldwing a masterpiece on two wheels.